Lesson 3.2, Complex Numbers. How do you define and use the imaginary unit I? Let's go ahead and look at complex numbers C. So consider the number 5 plus 2i. The 5 is a real number. The 2i is the pure imaginary number. So you cannot combine these as like terms. This type of expression is called a complex number. So standard form of a complex number is A, where this A is represented by the real number part, plus BI, where the BI represents the imaginary part. We are being asked to find the values of x and y when I have two complex numbers equaling each other. To help us see this, I am going to color the real parts in with orange. It's a real part but doesn't have an I. So 2x is real, 10 is real, negative 10x is real, 20 is real, negative 12x is real, 60 is real. Those are all reals because they have no i's. The BI is the imaginary part. I'm going to color the imaginary parts blue. So the minus 7i plus yi, those are imaginary, plus 12i plus 3yi plus yi minus 13i. Those are all of the imaginary parts. If I want to find the values of x and y, you're going to set real equal to real, solve for that variable, imaginary equal to imaginary, and solve for that variable. Let's take a closer look. So problem number 1. This real is supposed to weigh the same amount as that real. So 2x is supposed to be equivalent to 10. I have one variable left. We're going to solve for that variable. Divide both sides by 2. I have x equaling 5. So I found the value of x. Now I've got to do imaginary equal to imaginary. Because this is equal, these should weigh the same. So negative 7i should be the same as yi. I'm supposed to be solving for y. Since y is connected to the I by multiplication, we're going to divide both sides by the I. I divided by I is 1, so I have negative 7 equaling I divided by I is 1, y. So x is 5, y is a negative 7. Let's go ahead and take a look at problem number 7. Real is supposed to be equal to real, so negative 10x is supposed to be the same as 20. Imaginary is supposed to equal to imaginary. So I have 12i equaling a 3yi. I'm supposed to be solving for x. X is connected to the negative 10 by multiplication, so we undo multiplying by dividing. So x equals a negative 2. I need to solve for y. Y is stuck to both 3 and I by multiplication. We undo multiplication by division. 12 divided by 3 is 4. I divided by I is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. I divided by I is 1. So y equals 4. Problem number 4. Real needs to equal real. So I have negative 12x equaling 60. Imaginary equals imaginary. So yi equals a negative 13i. I'm supposed to solve for x. X is connected to the negative 12 by multiplication. We undo multiplication by division. Negative 12 divided by negative 12 is 1. So I have x equaling 60 divided by negative 12 is a negative 5. I'm supposed to solve for y. Y is connected to the I by multiplication. You undo multiplication by division. I divided by I is 1, so I have y equaling I divided by I is 1, gives me negative 13. There are 6 problems left on the page. Please do those for independent practice.